The Netherlands have moved into a tougher coronavirus lockdown since Sunday as the spiking infections in last few weeks and new threat coming from first confirmed cases of COVID-19 variant Omicron was detected in the country. Government has tightened its lockdown restrictions amid soaring coronavirus infections and ICU admissions across the country. They have seen a string of record daily infections in recent weeks, and an earlier partial lockdown appears to have had little effect. Caretaker Prime Minister Mark Rutte announced that starting from Sunday, everything in the Netherlands will be closed between 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Bars, non-essential stores, cinemas and theaters were among the public places required to close during that time, and police were deployed mainly in the intersection and downtown. Meanwhile, so far, 13 people who arrived in the Netherlands on flights from South Africa on Friday have tested positive for the new Omicron coronavirus variant. 61 people who tested positive for coronavirus on Friday after arriving on the last two flights to Amsterdam's Schiphol airport before a flight ban was put in place. They were immediately put into isolation, while sequencing was carried out to establish if they had the new variant.
De 61 geteste mensen is vast komen te staan dat het gaat over de Omicron variant. En dat betekent we kunnen natuurlijk wel.
Meanwhile, new COVID-19 variant coming from South Africa, Omricon, has worried Australians as a South African man in Australia Northern Territory has been infected with the variant. Australian Health Minister Greg Hunt said Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison is convening the National Security Committee to review the evidence and possible actions. Greg Hunt also announced that non-Australian citizens who have been to South Africa and some other African countries, including Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and 5 other countries within the past 14 days will not be able to enter Australia, and that Australian citizens who have traveled to the 9 African countries in the past 14 days will need to quarantine for 2 weeks upon returning to Australia.
We convened our first meeting on this on Friday.